Okay. Oh, all right, I think I'm live. Hi everyone. Got a leaf blower outside my house. So I'm often in competition with leaf blowers, actually, not just on these live recordings, but also when I teach in person. There seems to be one that follows me around everywhere. So if you hear a little bit of background noise, it will just be the leaf blower. And I'm sure they will disappear soon. Just to preface this video, all right, I'm definitely live. But I hope you've had a lovely week. The weather's a bit rubbish, isn't it? So hopefully that picks up next week, because I'm kind of missing the garden. Yoga in the garden, what a treat. But yeah, another Facebook Live yoga class. We're actually going to be doing something today which is quite strong. We're going to be working our way up towards L-sits. And I think you probably do them maybe in CrossFit. I mean, they're not common to yoga, but we're going to work our way up to them. I've got a different way of doing them. You might find it helpful, you might not. So we'll see when we get there. But also from the L-sits, we're going to be working on the preparation for jumping back from seated. Now, I can't do this, so we're all in it together. So the stuff we're going to do today is actually stuff that I'm working on in my own personal practice. I'm trying to make myself stronger. I'm trying to get the technique right. But I think it's going to be fun. It's a really valuable thing to do. You know, like I said, from jumping back to seated, but also for your jump throughs. So jumping from downward dog into seated, really tricky little movements, require a lot of strength. So it's going to be a strong class today. We're going to have to work the hamstrings, going to lengthen the back of the legs. We're going to have to work the hip flexors a little bit. So the psoas muscle in particular, that brings the body closer towards the legs and vice versa. And we're also going to be working on the shoulders. So with L-sits, and jumping back and jumping through, it requires you to push strongly from the shoulders round the back. So we're going to get that area warmed up as well. So it's going to be a strong class. I hope you're excited. Almost like a snippet into what I'm doing at the moment. You're going to need maybe a strap if your hamstrings are tight, because we're going to do a hamstring thing first. And you will definitely need, if you want to do the whole class, you don't definitely need it, but if you do want to do the whole class, towards the end we're going to be using a couple of blocks. So if you've got 2 yoga blocks, absolutely amazing, keep them handy. Or if you have like 2 similar height books, you can use those as well. Get creative. If you have any injuries, please check with your doctor before doing this. It's a strong class today, so you don't want to hurt yourself. Take it easy. If you need to, have a rest at any point, and that's all I need to say. We're ready. We're ready to begin, but we are going to start warming the body up from a lying position. It's just a good way to start the class, in my opinion. Just going to shuffle back over to my mat. All right, so come to your lying position. You can have the legs straight or knees bent, totally up to you, whatever feels more comfortable. If you've got a precarious lower back, maybe knees bent, soles of the feet on the floor. And then just rest the hands either side of the body, palms up. Close the eyes and just take a moment to bring the attention into the room. Okay, so as much as possible, we're trying to focus on the breath, we're trying to focus on the sensations in the body. Tuning out any background noise, leaf blowers, pets, they like to get involved. So just for this 1 hour, focusing on your yoga, forgetting about what you've done earlier, forgetting about what you've got to do later on. So this is your time, this is your hour. So we'll start by just taking the attention around the body quickly. So just notice how you feel, any areas that feel tense, injuries you need to be mindful of. And because it is a strong class today, you want to take a little bit more care. Never push past pain. If something hurts, don't do it. You may feel a little bit of burning, things may feel a little bit intense, but it's that sharp shooting pain we want to avoid at all costs, that real bone on bone kind of pain. Hopefully you won't experience any of it, but you know, just in case, back off from that. And then just notice how your energy's doing today. Again, modify if you're feeling a little tired. And then breathe in deeply through the nose. So inhales and exhales equal in length. Feeling the ribcage rise and fall. And then finding a steady rhythm that's maintainable. So something you can sustain throughout the whole practice. We don't want to feel like we're running out of breath. And because we're going to be working the body quite hard today, it's more difficult than normal to focus on the breath, but do your best. Prioritising the breath over the posture. I mean, this is what differentiates yoga from other forms. There's a lot that differentiates it, but one of the main things that does is the breath. So it's a breathing practice as well as the postures we do. Taking a few more moments here. And we've got a lot to get through. So we're going to open our eyes and begin. So point the toes down the mat, arms overhead, lengthen. I'm going to regret doing this class. So make yourself as long as possible. Feeling the stretch come into the tops of the legs, particularly, so the quads, the hip flexors, lower back. Might feel a little lift in your lower back as you make yourself really long, absolutely fine. And then hug your knees into the chest on the exhale, rock from side to side, make some circles. So now we're releasing any tension that might have built up in the lower back especially. Back of the head stays on the floor and you're just using the hands around the knees or the shins to make the circles. Squeezing the thighs in towards the belly as you roll. And then take both feet to the floor. Start gently. So just extend your left leg down the mat. Left leg can be quite relaxed today, so don't worry too much about it. Take hold of the right shin with both hands, inhale and exhale. Gently work the right thigh back towards the body. So knee to chest pose. Lovely way to start in my opinion. Stretching into the top of the right leg. Also a little stretch into the groin here. Just keep the back of the head on the floor. Shoulders roll down into the mat and the chin tucks in so the back of the neck's nice and long. Breath steady. Every exhale. Maybe easing the knee back a little bit more. Eventually we're trying to close the gap between the thigh and the tummy. But don't worry if that's not happening today. It's just the direction we're moving in. Just a couple more breaths here. Lovely. And we're going to take this into a twist. So take this quite carefully. It's a deep twist to start with. So we're just going to keep hold of the right shin with the left hand and we're going to extend the right arm out to the side, palms down. Inhale, then as you exhale, just gently work the right leg over towards the left. So your right butt cheek's going to lift up off the floor. The left leg travels with the twist. And whenever you're in your depth, you're going to turn and look over the right shoulder, provided your neck's okay. So the purpose of this posture is definitely not to yank the leg as far across the body as possible. All we want to do is draw that quite nice stretch in the lower back. You may be feeling it in the right glute, top of the right leg. And it's more important to keep the right shoulder down because that's where the stretch starts from. So if you're struggling to keep the right shoulder down, maybe spread the right fingers a bit more, press a little stronger through the right arm, just so you can anchor yourself. And once the shoulder's sorted, you can relax. So we're not engaging any muscles here. Very passive, very lazy. This is the only lazy posture we're going to do today, so enjoy it. And then bring it back to centre, fab, or change sides. So just straighten the right leg down the mat, give your legs a shake. And then keep the right leg down the mat, keep the leg quite relaxed today, and then hold on to the left shin with both hands. Inhale, then exhale, squeeze in the left knee back towards the body. Trying to close the gap between the thigh and the tummy, keeping the chin tucked in so the neck is long, shoulders and upper body really relaxed. Stretching into the top of the left leg as well as the groin. Breathing through the nose, just noticing if one side feels a little bit different to the other, usually does. Constant but gentle pressure around the shin and we'll hold it just for a couple more breaths. Fab, and then we'll take it into the twist. So now holding on to the left shin with the right hand, left arm out to the side, palm down, inhale, and then exhale, just working the left leg over towards the right. So the left sit bone will lift, the right leg's going to travel with the twist. Whenever you're in your depth, you turn and look over the left shoulder. Just try and keep that left shoulder down. Feeling the stretch in the lower back, left glute. It's quite a deep twist to start with. So again, you might notice that you don't move as far as usual. That's okay. We're just trying to warm the body up slowly. Relaxing as much as possible. Should we just stay here? I can't laugh in this posture. Okay. And then bring the leg back to center. Wonderful. Straighten both legs down the mat. So taking a cat stretch, pointing the toes, arms overhead, lengthen, make yourself as long as you can. And then hugging the knees into the chest, making those circles. You can go side to side, up and down, whatever feels comfortable, whatever feels good for you. Just keep the back of the head on the floor. And then take both feet to the mat. All right, hamstrings. So I kind of feel like people forget about hamstrings when it comes to L-sits. I mean, I don't know why, your legs need to be straight. So it's important that we work the hamstrings, and there are stages to this posture. We've done it before. So we're also going to be waking up the tops of the legs. So to begin with, let's just keep the left knee bent, left foot on the floor. Take the back of the right thigh with both hands, or use a strap if your hamstring's super tight. And as you inhale, just extend the right leg up towards the ceiling. Okay, so coming into this, it's quite a simple hamstring stretch, but it may not be easy if the back of the leg's tight. So if the shoulders are lifting, if the back of the head's lifting, then just use a strap instead. It's not a big deal. So you don't need to, I've got an itchy ankle, you don't need to use the hands around the back of the leg. You can use a strap if you want to. But just try and get that leg as straight as you can. Really work the right toes back towards the body. Shooting up through the right heel, and it's more important that the leg is straight than dead vertical. So again, if you've got a massive bend in your knee, just lower the leg a little bit and see if you can straighten it a bit more. Left foot just resting on the mat, so we're not pressing down heavy into that left foot, base of the spine down, and upper body relaxed. Neck long, breath steady. Every exhale, maybe seeing if you can work the toes a little bit higher towards the face, but only if the leg doesn't bend. Holding it here. Bit of leg shake's normal, don't worry about that. Okay, fab. You're more than welcome to stay here, or the next part of this posture is to straighten the left leg down the mat. And now we want the left leg to be stronger. So work the left toes back towards the body, toes face the ceiling, then see if you can ground down through the left calf. Keeping the right leg as straight as you can as well. So starting to bring a stretch into the groin here. Maybe seeing if you can work the right leg back just a fraction more. Don't worry if it doesn't move. Okay, so now we get onto the strength part of this posture. So I want you to work both toes back as much as you can and squeeze both quads. So you're getting both legs really strong and straight. Release the hands or the strap from the back of the leg, and then place the hands either side of the body. So now it's the top of the right leg, that hip flexor, that's bringing the leg back or keeping it where it is, and it's the quad that's keeping the leg straight. So a very strong posture. Lying postures aren't always easy. Just keep the breath steady. Maybe see if you can work the right toes back a little bit more. Keep that left leg active. Keep the leg strong. And then we're going to hold it here for 5. Slow count today. 4. Doing really well. Keep the legs strong and straight. 3. Keep working the right toes back if possible. 2 and 1. All right, so just relax the legs, drop the right leg down, give the legs a shake, and we'll do exactly the same thing the other side. So we'll start with the right leg bent, right foot on the floor, back of the left thigh, hands or strap, and then inhale, extending left leg up towards the ceiling. So if you're pulling your shoulders and back of the head off the mat, you need to use a strap. You want to keep the upper body relaxed, neck long, and then more important, the left leg straight than dead vertical. So if there's a massive bend in the knee, remember you can lower the leg. Try and get it straight though. Working the toes back towards the body. Right foot just resting on the floor, and then maybe on every exhale, gently moving the toes. If it's appropriate, a little bit higher up towards the face. It all depends on the back of the leg and how you're feeling today. One side's going to feel tighter, so just bear that in mind. Holding it here, and don't worry if your leg's shaking, it's fine. It's alright. Bit of leg shake never killed anyone. Touch wood. Alright, just a few more breaths here, working into the calf, the hamstring. Remember, you can have a rest at any point if you need to. You can stay in this position, or on your next inhale, let's straighten the right leg down the mat. And now we want the right leg to be strong. Pull both toes back. See if you can ground through the right calf and have the right toes facing the ceiling. If the back of the leg is really tight, and if the groin's super tight, you might find that the left leg wants to go a bit closer to the floor now we've straightened that right leg. Again, just listen to your body. It's fine. A few more moments here. Keep working the toes back. Keep getting the legs as straight as you can. Alright, so here's the fun part. Get both legs as straight as you can, squeeze the quads, work the toes back, and then once you feel like your legs are a movable object, really, really strong and straight, take your hands away from the leg. Push. Okay, plop them either side of the body. And now the hip flexor is working hard, the quads are working hard to keep the leg in the position that they're in, but see if you can work the left toes a bit higher up towards the face. And we're going to hold it here for that awful slow count. I've got a twitch in my ankle. We're going to hold it here for that awful slow count of 5. So 5, deep breaths. 4. 3, keep the legs straight as you can. 2, and 1, relax. Whoosh. Leg down, leg straight, give the straight legs a shake, and then we'll take a cat stretch. So point the toes down the mat, arms overhead. It's just a really good little counter movement for the strength work we just done. So we were contracting the muscles in the legs, now we're stretching them out, top of the legs. Stretching the top of the feet out as well after working the toes back. And stretching the tummy muscles out. And then hug your knees into your chest, rock from side to side, make some circles. Okay, last lion posture. So this is one of my favourite ways to work the tummy muscles and also the tops of the legs, the hip flexors, from a very supported lying position. So I do it quite often, you may have done it before. That's just very good, you know, why mess with something that works? So we're just going to have both legs down the mat, legs together this time, toes gently work back, and then we're going to place the arms overhead. So the arms are on the floor over your head, a little bit like a cat stretch, but this time palms are up. All right, and then on your next inhale, keeping the legs together, we're going to raise the legs up towards the ceiling. So we're trying to get the ankles over the hips. So I come back a little bit too far. So just sort of bear in mind, I can check myself on the video, which is good. Trying to get the ankles over the hips, keeping the base of the spine down and keeping the toes working back gently. So what we're going to do is we're going to try and lower one leg down to the floor so it's hovering while keeping the opposite leg stacked over the hip. So if the groin's tight, as you lower one leg, it's going to try and pull the other leg down with it, but just see if you can keep it where it is. So we'll start by dropping the right leg, all right? So from here, take an inhale, and then as you exhale, very slowly with control, so move mindfully, lower the right leg down towards the floor, so it's hovering a few inches, and keep that left leg where it is. All right, so nice slow movements. You should feel the work in the lower tummy muscles. And then inhale very slowly, bring the right leg back up to meet the left. Okay, so nice mindful movements. We're lifting, not kicking. And then exhale, lower the left leg down so it's hovering a few inches off the floor. Also trying to keep the legs as straight as possible. Keep the right ankle over the hip, hold it. And then inhale, raising the left leg up to meet the right. Okay, wonderful. Again, exhale, right leg down so it's hovering a few inches off the floor with control, both legs straight. And then inhale, raise. Nice slow movements. And then exhale, lower the left leg down. So it's hovering a few inches off the floor. Keep the legs strong. And then inhale, raise that left leg up. So we're going to do it 2 more times. This time we're just going to hold that hover for a bit longer. So as you exhale, lower the right leg down, a few inches off the floor. Both legs as strong and as straight as you can get them, and we're going to hold it for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Inhale, lift, don't kick that right leg up. Had to remind myself then. And then exhale, lower the left leg down so it's hovering a few inches off the floor. Both legs strong, toes working back for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Lift one more time. So getting the ankles over the hips, and then as you exhale, lowering the right leg down so it's hovering a few inches off the floor. Both legs strong and straight, and then holding it here for 5, 4, hopefully feeling the work of the tummy, 3, 2, and 1. Lift the right leg up to meet the left. Last time. We're going to exhale, lower the left leg down so it's hovering a few inches off the floor. Keep the right leg where it is for 5, 4, 3, 2, it's hard to laugh in this one as well, and 1. Inhale, raise the left leg up to meet the right. So now as slowly as possible, provided your back's okay, we're going to lower both legs down so they're hovering a few inches off the floor. Keep the legs strong, keep the legs straight. Okay, and then hold the hover for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Whew. I felt it. So take a cat stretch here. Point the toes down the mat, arms overhead, lengthen. A bit red in the face after that. And then hug the knees into the chest, rock from side to side. Just rocking out the lower back. Sometimes those core postures can sometimes feel a little bit sensitive for the back. So take your time here, make whatever movements you need to make. And then when you're ready, you're going to pop yourself up to seated. Just have a drink. So have a drink at any point if you want to drink. All right? And now we're going to come into downward dog. So starting in all 4 position. Spread the fingers. Tuck the toes and then send the hips up and back. Alright, so just adjust the feet and adjust the hands as you need to. So feet hip width apart, hands roughly shoulder width apart. You can bend the knees, the heels can be off the floor, but just keep the head relaxed. Keep the fingers spread and then press forward with the hands to take the hips back, feeling that big stretch back of the legs, also lower back. And now we're starting to strengthen into the shoulders, so we also need to work this area for these L-sits we're going to be doing. So really getting the arms as straight as you can. You're pressing forward strongly. And then we'll just hold it here for a few more breaths. Lovely. And then as you inhale, bring the weight forward. Bring the shoulders over the wrists. Give yourself some room so you can step the feet between the hands, look forward. Exhale, fold, drop the head and hold it here. So we're just holding a forward fold. Knees can be as bent as they need to be, but let the head hang, feeling the release in the lower back especially. Okay, last breath here. And then we're going to roll up to standing, vertebrae by vertebrae. Head's the last thing to lift, arms relax either side of the body till you're all the way up. This makes me dizzy, that one. And then we're at the top of the mat, lovely, okay. So we're just going to work the standing knee to chest pose, and we're going to put some strong leg stuff into it. So this is a balance, but it's very similar to what we've done lying down. Now if you need to, if your balance is a little bit dodgy, absolutely, fingertips to wall is fine. So use whatever you need to use, just so we can work the tops of the legs. Don't want to be falling over so much that you lose the posture we're trying to get at. So we're mainly trying to do this for our hip flexors again. So I want you to stand on your left leg. You can have your left fingers to the wall if you need to, in which case you'll only take the right shin with the right hand. Now if your balance is okay, then we're going to take the right shin with both hands on the inhale and then squeeze the right thigh back towards the tummy. So something that really helps with balance is if you look at a certain point. So in yoga we call it the drishti. It's your point of concentration, usually on the floor a few feet in front of you. But it just helps you tune out any kind of like distractions. We also want to keep the standing leg strong. So keep drawing energy up that leg. You're going to feel some work in your glute here. Keep the chest broad. Okay, lovely. And then from here, I want you to keep the right leg where it is and take both hands to the hips, or just the right hand to the hip if you're using the wall. And then as you inhale, straighten the right leg, point the toes. Exhale, bend the knee. Inhale, straighten. Exhale, bend. Inhale, straighten. Exhale, bend. Two more. Inhale, straighten, squeeze the quad. Exhale, bend, last one. Inhale, straighten, squeeze. Exhale, bend, and then drop that leg. Ooh, give your legs a shake. Lovely. Let's change sides. So, standing on the right leg now, spreading the toes, right hand to hip or right fingertips to wall, and then taking hold of the left shin. And just beginning by squeezing the left thigh in towards the body, trying to stand up nice and tall here, so trying to avoid rolling the shoulders forward. Feeling the strength in the right leg, so keeping a real upward lift through that right leg. Keep the breath steady. Remember your drishti. Alright, and then keeping the left leg where it is, hands to hips. And then inhale, straighten the left leg, point the toes, squeeze the quad. Try not to lean back, and then exhale, bend the knee. Inhale, point, straighten. Exhale, bend. Inhale, point, squeeze. Exhale, bend. Two more. Inhale, point, squeeze. Woo. Exhale, bend, last one. Inhale, point, squeeze. And then exhale, bend, release. Give your legs a little shake. It's harder than it looks, isn't it, that one? I don't know, I think I'm doing a pretty good impression of it hurting a little bit. Impression. It's the truth. So we're going to start to work on the shoulders now. I feel like we've done enough with the tops of the legs, quite a bit with the belly. So now I want to work on strengthening into the shoulders, really important. So we're going to come through 3 sun salutations. The first one is going to be a normal sun salutation A, nothing fancy. The second one, we're going to work on the plank to forearm sets. It really starts with we might do 4, hold the chaturanga, and then the fourth one we might do some press-ups. I don't know yet, I'll see how we go, I'll see how much I can deal with. So let's just work through a normal sun salutation first, just in case you're not familiar with the movement. So we're going to have balls of the feet together, ankles apart, lift the shoulders, allow them to fall back, and then head slightly tilted forward. The arms are just relaxed either side of the body. Just taking a few deep breaths through the nose. So calming the energy down a little bit. My energy. Alright, and here we go. So the first one is going to be a normal sun salutation, straight legs. So as you inhale, arms reach up and you look towards your thumbs. Exhale, you fold forward, bend the knees as much as you need to, hands to floor, drop the head. You inhale, look forward, lengthen, keep the hands on the floor, the weight comes into the hands as you exhale, step or jump back to plank. And you lower to a very low press up or the floor. Keep the body in one long line. You inhale, pull through a back bend. And then exhale, downward dog. So adjust the feet and the hands if you need to. Feet hip width apart, hands roughly shoulder width apart. Heads relaxed. Knees can be bent, heels can be off the floor, but press forward strongly with the hands to take the hips back. Keep the breath steady. Okay, a few more breaths. Keep the fingers spread. And then as you inhale, weight comes forward into the shoulders. Press into the hands. Give yourself some room so you can inhale, step, walk or jump the feet forward, look forward. Exhale, drop the head. And then inhale, swoop the arms up, look up. And then exhale, arms by your side. Not too bad, hey? All right, here we go. They're going to get worse. So as you inhale, swoop your arms up again, look thumbs. Exhale, fold, hands to floor, drop the head. This time, inhale, look forward. Exhale, step or jump back to plank and hold your planks. Right, ready to see me sweat. So from this plank position, I want you to come down onto your right forearm, come down onto your left forearm, forearm plank. Come up onto your right arm, and then come up onto your left arm. All right, straight armed plank. Come down onto your right forearm, left forearm, right straight arm, left straight arm, right forearm, left forearm, straight right arm, left straight arm, right forearm, left forearm, straight right arm, straight left arm, and then lower to low press up on the floor. Inhale, pull through your back bend, and then exhale, downward dog. Right, so starting to beef the shoulders up a little bit, eh? Feet hip width apart, hands shoulder width apart, heads relaxed. Press strongly forward with the arms to take the hips back and just steady your breath. Okay, then from here, inhale, weight comes forward into the arms. Shoulders come over the wrists. Give yourself some room so that you can step, jump or walk the feet forward, look forward. Exhale, drop the head forward, fold. Inhale, arms up, look up. And then exhale, arms by your side. Right, again. Inhale, arms up, reach. Exhale, fold, drop the head. Inhale, look forward, lengthen. Exhale, back to plank, hold the planks. All right, so this time, if you can hold a low press up, you're gonna hold a low press up. If you can't hold a low press up, that's not a problem. You're gonna come down into forearm plank. So whatever you're doing, exhale, lower, either forearms or chaturanga, and we're gonna hold it here. All right, for 5, 4, 3, I'm right there with you. 2, and 1, inhale a back bend, and then exhale, dog. Okay, so set the feet, set the hands, feet hip width, hands shoulder width, fingers spread, neck relaxed. Press forward with the hands, take the hips back. Breath steady. Okay, and then inhale. Weight comes forward, shoulders over wrists. Press into the hands. Give yourself some room so you can step, jump or walk the feet forward, look forward. Exhale, drop the head. Inhale, arms up, look up. Exhale, arms by your side. Last one, last shoulder strengthener. So we're going to come through our sun salutation and we're going to get into downward dog. Then from downward dog we're going to work some press ups. Got some hair in my mouth. So when we do these downward dog press ups, I think they're also called pike press ups. I'll just show you very quickly. What we're trying to do is we don't want to take the elbows too wide as we come down. So if you watch me, what we're going to do is we're going to inhale. See if we can keep the elbows bent backwards, drop the face between the hands so it's hovering, and then press back up into downward dog. All right, so the elbows aren't coming out to the side. We're going to see if we can keep them pulling in a backward direction, much like we do in chaturanga. You're going to kill me there. You're going to kill me. Right, do you know what though? Just a thing, doesn't matter. It's upper body for me has been something that I really struggle with, noodle arms. So I'm having to work on it all the time, and I just feel like we shouldn't be upset if things are difficult. And especially if you're a teacher, sometimes teachers think they have to be perfect in order to do stuff. Well, you're always a student first, aren't you? So that doesn't make any sense. So we're all in this together. We're going to come through some of these press ups. Balls of the feet together, ankles apart. Lift the shoulders, allow them to fall back, head slightly tilted forward. Let's take a couple of breaths for my benefit, more than anything. My noodle arms. We're just going to come through the sun salutation into downward dog. So as you inhale, arms up, look up. Exhale, fold, hands to floor, drop the head. Inhale, look forward, lengthen. Exhale, back to plank. Lower till I press up on the floor. Inhale, a back bend. And then exhale, downward dog. Right, here we go. Here we go, team. So I want you to adjust the hands so they're shoulder width apart. Adjust the feet so they're hip width apart. As we come through this, we're going to see if we can keep the elbows bending backwards rather than splaying out sideways. And we're going to see if we can hover the face between the hands. All right, so take a big inhale. Then as you exhale, weight comes forward, drop the face between the hands so it's hovering. And then inhale, dog. Exhale, hover. Inhale, dog. Exhale, hover. Inhale, dog. Exhale, hover. Inhale, dog. One more. Exhale, hover. Inhale, dog, and just hold the downward dogs for a second. Take a moment, just catch your breath. And we're going to see if we can do another 5. Famous last words. Alright, so just steady yourself. Here we go, 5 more. So inhale, hover. Exhale, dog. Inhale, hover. Exhale, dog. Inhale, hover. Exhale, dog. 2 more. Inhale, hover. Exhale, dog. Last one. Inhale, hover. Exhale, dog. And then come down onto your knees. Oh, child's pose. Child's pose for sure. So feet and knees together, or feet together, knees apart, whatever you find most comfortable. Sinking the bum down towards the heels. You can leave the arms out in front, or it might feel quite nice to take the arms either side of the body and let the shoulders relax down to the mat. Again, trying to drop the forehead down towards the mat. But if that's not comfortable, just stay upright a bit, it doesn't matter. And just take a moment here. Upper body kills me. Upper body gets me. Gets me. I like to think I'm hench, but I'm not. So just giving yourself a chance to catch your breath. Okay, and then very slowly just make your way up to seated and then come down into your seated position. I feel like we're ready. I feel like we're ready. So we've worked the hamstrings, worked the core, worked the hip flexors, beefed up the shoulders a bit. I feel like they're all the components we need to work this L-sit. We've got one preparation posture left, and it is called Dandasana. Really important posture for this, because it is effectively the shape we want the body, and the tension we hold in Dandasana has to be the tension we hold in the L-sit. So when you come into your L-sit, no part of your body can be floppy. You want your legs to be strong, your shoulders to be strong, the core to be working. So it's a similar kind of tension that we're trying to mirror. So let's start with Dandasana. Legs straight out in front of you, legs together, toes work back. Now your legs are strong. I feel like sometimes people forget this in Dandasana. No, press down through the heels and the calves, squeeze the legs together, roll the thighs inwards and really work the toes back. There should be no part of your leg that is squidgy right now. It should all be strong. Then take your hands either side of your hips. Now move forward on the sit bones, draw the belly in, shoulders back and down, spin the elbows in. Pull the lower ribs in as well. Chin tucks in towards chest. And then hold it here. So you should feel the tension. I want you to feel the tension in Dandasana. No part of the body is relaxed, okay? The chin is in, the shoulders draw back and down, the elbows spinning, the arms are straight, the belly's drawn in, the legs are engaged, the thighs are squeezing in, the toes are working back. Hold it here just for a few more breaths. Keep extending through the spine. Imagine you're sitting up against a wall. Keep the ribs contained. Keep the chest broad. A few more breaths. Keep that tension. And then release. All right, okay, so grab your blocks if you have your blocks. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to try an L-sit on the blocks, and one of the benefits of doing this is that obviously you can get more height. At the same time, while it might be easier because we have more height, the shoulders don't have to be working perhaps as strongly, we still need the legs to be strong. Dandasana legs in L-sit. So the posture we just done, we want that same tension in the legs if your legs aren't engaged, if the muscles aren't engaging, as you try and pick your bum up, the legs are just going to flop back down to the floor. So you want to make them like a stick, movable, glued together. Now with L-sits as well, this is where I do it a little bit differently. And this may not be the case for you. You might not like to do it this way. So I'm going to show you the ways it can be done, and then you can pick the way which works for you. Some people like to have the hands, whether they're on blocks or on the floor, right by the hips, okay? For me, that's a lot more work. For me, that's really difficult. But some people will have the hands right by the hips, and they'll lift up from this position. If you have tight hamstrings, this is probably what you're going to have to do. You're probably going to have the hands either side of the hips. But if you are able to come into a forward fold and place your tummy on your thighs, so obviously this depends on hamstrings. If you are able to get your tummy on the thighs, it can be sometimes a little bit easier to bring the hands by the knees instead. You've glued your tummy to your thighs, and then I personally find that you can get more push from the shoulders from that position there, all right? So obviously, because you're rolling forwards, you can press up from the shoulders more strongly than if you were here. You see what I mean? So there's this, and that. But that obviously does depend on you having quite, having flexible hamstrings today. Because getting enough forward and lower back to get enough forward motion to get the hands here and get the body quite close to the thighs is difficult. So I do appreciate that. So that's personal preference. You're either going to have your hands by your hips on the blocks, or if you can, you're going to bring the belly to the thighs and then move the hands outside the knees. You can play around with them. We're going to do this maybe 3 times. Wherever you have the hands, now is the time to focus on the legs. I want you to work the toes back, squeeze the legs together, and engage the quads. I engage my quads so much that my heels actually lift off the floor. Now your heels might not lift off the floor, but that is how strong we need the legs. Otherwise this happens. You see, the legs are floppy, it's not going to work. We want them to be one solid, immovable thing. Imagine your legs are one leg, okay? So get the legs strong. Either place the hands next to the hips on the blocks, or see if you can place your belly on the thighs and move the hands either side of the knees. Wherever you are, you're going to have to press strongly through the shoulders. Keep the legs strong, keep the legs together, and then inhale, lift. Hold it, and then exhale, lower. All right? So, let's try that again. You might want to switch up the hand positioning. See which one you like the most. Wherever you are, get the legs strong, work the toes back, squeeze the quads. Remember, a little bit of a lean forward. Doesn't matter if the hands are by the hips or either side of the knees. You want to lean forward a little bit, because you need to press from the shoulders. If you're up here, you can't press. So roll the shoulders forward, and then keep the legs strong, and then inhale, lift, and then exhale, lower. Okay. So you can keep doing this with the blocks, absolutely fine. Now if you're managing this okay with the blocks, choose whichever hand position you like the best. Just remember to roll the shoulders forward before you press. If you're doing okay without the blocks, with the blocks, we can take the blocks away. If you want to keep doing it with the blocks, keep doing it with the blocks. Slightly more challenging without the blocks. So, find your hand position. Remember, if your hands are either side of the hips, you still want to get that lean forward. Or if you want to do it my way, you can place the belly on the thighs if the hamstrings will let you, and place the hands either side of the knees. All right, keep the legs strong. Remember, want to squeeze those quads. Your legs are one leg. Don't want them to move. Don't want them to flop back down to the floor. Roll the shoulders forward. You're going to have to press really strongly through the arms as you inhale lift, and then lower. All right, let's do it again. Don't worry if like a bit of bum's coming off the floor and the legs staying down. Doesn't matter, it's a work in progress, trust me. Took me a while. So now we are going to do the same thing. I'll take my hands back, okay, to show you how it can be done both ways, but choose the hand position that you like the best. Roll the shoulders forward. Before you even think about lifting, get the tension in the legs, and then as you inhale, lift. Lower. All right, give your legs a shake. So hopefully that went quite well. What we're going to do now, and this is provided that the L-sit's working. You might just want to spend the next 5 minutes working on those L-sits with everything we've spoken about. Otherwise, we're going to see if we can come up into an L-sit, squeeze the legs in towards the tummy, extend the legs, then plop down. So this is really valuable practice for jumping back and jumping through, really. The hip flexors and the core are going to have to work strong. Very hard. I don't know if I can do it without the blocks, but we'll do it with the blocks first and then we'll all have a laugh together without. So let's place the blocks wherever you're going to have them. Remember the tension in the legs. Remember you need to roll the shoulders forward before you come up. And then whenever you're ready, you're going to push from the shoulders, come up into your L-sit. From here, squeeze the legs in, extend the legs, squeeze the legs, extend the legs, drop. All right, take a breath. Let's do that again, shall we? God, it's like I have to do such an important movement, but my God, does it get me. So come into whichever variation of L-sit you're working. Let's use the blocks for some extra height here. Roll the shoulders forward, keep the legs strong, keep the tension in the legs. Press from the shoulders, push up. Then squeeze the legs in, extend, legs, extend. One more, squeeze the legs, extend, and drop. Oh my God, it kills me. Kills me every time. Good, now, I don't think I can do that without blocks. But obviously, what we want to try and do is get the L-sit working with the blocks, get the L-sit working without the blocks, get the cross-leg sets working with the blocks, and then get the cross-leg sets working without the blocks. I don't know if I can do it without the blocks, but hey, why don't we just give it a go? Because I'm sure some of you will be able to do it without the blocks. I'll talk you through it even if I can't do it, just so that so that you can do it. So let's work into the L-sit without the blocks now. If you're still working on it with the blocks, just keep the blocks, it's fine. Alright, so coming into the L-sit, remember shoulders roll forward, legs are strong, you press from the shoulders, you pop yourself up. Then cross, straighten, cross, straighten, done. I'm done. But that's what you want to do. And you want to eventually try and do it better than me. So as you can see, what's happening with me is, and it happens with everyone, as you get tired, squeeze in the thighs in towards the body, the legs start to get a little bit loose. So it's harder to do that, but you want to try and make yourself, talking to myself too, teaching myself, as compact as possible. But it is difficult, it is hard. But I feel like we're done. I feel like I'm done. Jeez, everyone's done. Brilliant. All right, you can keep practicing as long as you want. I think if you were to take away anything, there's a few things. First of all, use the blocks for as long as you need to in these positions. The second is the hand placement. If you're able to bring the hands by the knees, get the belly on the thighs, it's going to give you more room to push through the shoulders. I find that an easier hand position. It's not the same for everyone, but just bear in mind you can do it that way. It's fine. If it's really difficult with the hands by the hips. The third is the tension in the legs. You've got to have legs strong. Your leg is one leg. You don't want them to just flop down as you pick up. So keep the toes pulling back, keep the legs squeezing together, and engage your quads, almost like you're trying to lift the heels off the floor. And the fourth thing is to, whether you've got the hands by the hips or by the knees, you need to roll the shoulders forward, and that is also going to give you more room to press from the shoulders. If your shoulders are just normal, you really don't have any room to push, okay? So just remember those things. I'm done now. So just at this point, absolutely feel free to take a couple of twists, or maybe turn the video off, or come out of the live and just take a cat stretch and do whatever movements you need to do. But because of time, we're just going to come straight into Shavasana now. Okay, so legs straight down the mat, all knees bent, arms a little way away from the body, palms up. Okay, and just taking a few breaths. Taking the attention around the body, a lot of strong work. But letting everything relax now, no tension anywhere, not engaging any muscles. You're more than welcome to stay here. I do encourage you to stay here for a couple of minutes longer, but for the purpose of this video, I'm going to just call it a day. So you stay here, and if you have been doing some twists and stuff, then do make sure that you do spend some time in Shavasana after that as well. Then whenever you're ready to come out of Shavasana, you take a cat stretch. So really point the toes down the mat, arms overhead. So we've done a lot of work with the tops of the legs today and the shoulders. So this is a really great opportunity to just stretch those areas out. Maybe walking the feet a bit further down the mat, pointing the toes, feeling a lift in the lower back, and the shoulders come up by the ears. And then hugging the knees into the chest, making some circles, and spending a bit of time here as well, just rocking out the lower back. Again, a lot of strong work today, so definitely spend some time, more time than I'm doing now, getting out of this class. And then whenever you're ready, wherever you're at, you just pop up to seated. So thank you so much for joining me. I feel like it was fun. I had a good time, but yeah. So I've already been through what I feel the main components to L-sits are. Blocks are your friend. Just keep practicing, and hopefully we'll all get stronger together, because I'm working on them too. We're all working on something, aren't we? All right. So have a lovely week, and I will hopefully see you next week.